Ah, peace. You ever just feel at peace, tranquility? Maybe the wind flows through your hair, you're sitting on a hill, a rock, just gazing towards the sun or some sort of beautiful scenery, soaking in the delicate and amazing scenery that has been bestowed upon you. There is no joke for this intro. I just really like this artwork. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, this video is not loading. We're supposed to be reacting on a rewatch of The Heart Shell episode 6, and the video is not loading. So, what if we just sit here for however long it takes for it to load? Is this just the video now? Have I revolutionized YouTube as a whole yet? Well, since we're gonna be here for a while, probably, I guess I could talk about stuff. Tonight, I do this thing called Kung Fu. I don't know if you ever knew it existed, but we were doing a lot of sparring tonight. It was a very heavy workout, and one of these guys, he's got his, I don't know if his arm got broken, but it looked at least dislocated, where his arm was just stuck in a position. So that was kind of interesting, I guess. Besides that, yeah, it's kind of boring. I don't know. The Jago's getting a new show. Kind of looks boring to me, but who knows? It might turn out good. I'm not sure. I guess I can talk about memories I have with stuff I watched. Ooh, I can talk about the Pegasus device. Oh my god, dude. So you have the original story of the Rainbow Factory, right? And I'm sure a good portion that have been in the Brony community for a while would know that there are sequels to it. So I got the physical version of the Pegasus device series, and I've just finished it this week. Oh my god, it is amazing, dude. I love it. It is so freaking good. I don't want to get into spoilers, but I highly recommend it. The first part of the story and the last part of the story, the way they just kind of come together, so good, man. It's so good. Just every part of the story is just a banger, man. You're gonna feel some things. You're gonna feel emotion. You might feel sadness. You might cry. I didn't cry personally. I would tell you if I did cry. Trust me, I would, because it's my thing, you know. I'm gonna tell you guys when I cry, you know. I sobbed pretty much when I first watched the MLP finale, you know, as any sane man would do. Cry during the finale. I mean, come on, the music was, not only was the music fantastic, but it managed to make a homage of pretty much every aspect of the show up to that point. It was one of the best send-offs any show could have. It was so freaking good. I'm saying freaking good a lot in this video so far. Man, it was great, man. I can't wait to rewatch the show in a couple months. That's gonna be a lot of fun rewatching the show. I made it a tradition to just kind of rewatch the show, specifically on July 13th, because that's when I first watched the show. I begin to watch it again, you know, and I just kind of chill, kind of celebrate, you know. I say celebrate, but it's really just me chilling and watching the show and just consuming a lot of MLP stuff for the day. It's pretty chill. I like it. Last year I ended up watching G1 for the first time. Oh, what a ride, dude. Generation 1. Oh, the amount of weird stuff that would happen in that show is... It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like you could have like a puzzle or just like a problem to be had in the show, and you would think, oh, there's a logical solution to this, and then Spike would just come out of nowhere and be like, guys, I know what this looks like, but what if we take the spoon, put salt on it, and kill the villain with this? And that's not just Spike. Actually, no, I take that back. Spike's actually one of the more logical characters. I feel like he has a brain, but like a lot of the characters, or maybe it's not. I'm actually not quite sure. I don't specifically remember, but it just either it's some of the characters or just the situation that are just so unbelievably stupid. It is hilarious, but also like funny at the same time. It's hilarious and funny at the same. That's the same meaning, you idiot. God. Then, dude, like that day when I first watched Generation 1, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch first couple episodes, because I saw the first episode was part 1, so I'm like, okay, we're starting with a 2-parter, makes sense, watch the first part, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch the second part, before I get into rewatching Generation 4 again. I watched the second part, I'm like, oh, it's not done. Oh, well, I'm finding this kind of interesting. I guess I can go to part 3. Maybe it's a 3-parter. Watch the third parter. Still going on? Huh. I guess it's kind of like 2 22-minute episodes, so it's kind of like a 2-parter, but just in an 11-minute format. Yeah, it's going to be 4 parts. 4 parts. 5. 6? 7. 8, please end. Why is this going on for 8 parts? 9. Make it end. 10 parts. Can somebody tell me why the premiere of Generation 1 is 10 parts? Like, I made the mistake of committing to finishing this stupid premiere before watching Generation 4 again. It was not fun. Binging 10 Generation 1 episodes in a row. It's not it, man. It's not it. Oh, it was crazy, man. I was going insane. It was real weird. Especially with the bees and the witches and the freaking spider dog. I eventually realized that I did miss the movie, which apparently was the beginning of Generation 1. Glad to know that everybody asked, how do I watch this series in order? They're like, oh, yeah, you can just watch, start with the series, it's fine. No, it's not fine. I needed to watch the movie first. And apparently there was a pilot, but the pilot's also like the season 1 finale, and but it's so weird. It's so freaking weird, man. In the end, though, I enjoyed the movie a lot, and I see why there are fanfics on the Schmooze. Schmooze is pretty freaking cool. And, I think the movie was probably the best part of Generation 1. I think it's just the best piece of content in Generation 1, I'm not gonna lie. The villains are pretty much all one note, and most of the time aren't very fun or entertaining. It has its moments. Most of the songs sound the same. Ooh, a little bit of alliteration there. You guys like that? But, I don't know, man. I didn't enjoy Generation 1 as much as I thought I would. Because there's still, a fan base out there for Generation 1. So I'm, thinking, okay, Generation 1 is the classic. that's where a lot of people are like, hey, I like this one. I like Generation 1. I'm gonna keep and then Generation 2 happened, and everybody was just like, this is disgusting. Kill it now. Generation 3 came out, was somehow even worse than Generation 2. Then Generation 3.5. God, I'm gonna hate watching that one. Oh, if you know, you know. And then Generation 4 came out, and it was just like, brony time. That's how I thought it went. But now that I finished Generation 1, which took me like 9 months to watch, maybe 6, I don't even remember, 7 months, 6 to 9 months. That's how long it took me to watch Generation 1. It was a task. But, but then I started watching MLP Tales, which it's pretty much Generation 2. I don't understand why there's such a divide between, like, no, there's no Generation 2 show. Generation 2 was just toys. And then people are saying, oh no, Generation 2 was the MLP Tales show. I'm just like, do we have a Generation 2 show or not? I don't know which side to take. So I just subconsciously called MLP Tales Generation 2 show because it's easier that way. It's less confusing. Just call it a Generation 2 show. It's pretty much the next generation. It's a new formula, new show. It's pretty much just Generation 2. And since I've been watching it for you guys from a YouTube channel, so it's been a lot of fun. Like, I'm enjoying it a lot more. It feels more structured. It feels like they actually like tried a little bit with the writing. Not to say that the Generation 1 writers did not try. It was indeed a different time, and cartoons were different back then. But I don't know. I just couldn't get into it, Generation 1. Generation 2, however, it's like, I think what really carries Generation MLP Tales is the characters. Like, the character dynamics and just kind of interactions they have is very, very entertaining to watch, and it kind of keeps you, into the show. I don't know. I just really like MLP Tales. It's really hecking entertaining, and I have a lot of fun reacting to it. Teddy's still the best character. Teddy's the best character in the show. Man. Just to confirm, yes, I am indeed going to watch Generation 3 on the channel, as well as Generation 3.5. Who knows, I might even watch Pony Life on the channel. Oh god, I hated Pony Life. Back when I first watched the show, like right after the show, I'm like, okay, so Generation 4 was absolutely amazing, right? And I want to talk about this show with other people. I want to join a Discord server. But what if I watched Pony Life first? That's a good idea. It was not a good idea. It was the absolute worst idea I've ever had in my life. Oh my god. Pony Life was just a mixture of stupidity, drab boringness, assassination of characters. From what I remember, I think there was an assassination of characters. From what I remember, it just wasn't MLP. It just was not MLP. Like, you cannot tell me that this was Generation 4.5. It just doesn't work, man. It just... hated it a lot. And one of my main quarrels with the show was this character who was like a potion maker or something. I forgot the name of the character. It was like Potion something. But they actually tried to set up a whole like arc and character relationship between Twilight and the freaking potion maker girl thing. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is this interesting? Am I actually enjoying an aspect of the show and then they proceeded to like make the potion make her relevant for one episode, make her appear in one other episode, and completely just get rid of her for the rest of the series. Love it. I love it. I love it so much. But then the ending was really weird. I remember the ending being really weird. Like, the ending was like... It was like... Discord... Just... He had a book open and he closed it and then he said something. I don't remember exactly what the ending was. And, like, Discord was, like, in this, like, weird library thing or something. I don't remember. It was so weird. I'm like, huh? What? So I ended up coming with the theory that, Pony Life is so bad is because this is Discord's own creation of the show. Like, this show is basically just Discord creating an alternate universe. Not like an alternate universe in the sense that it actually exists, but just like a story of it. Like, this is basically my headcanon is Discord decided to make a My Little Pony fanfic. And Pony Life was what it was. Because there's literal there's a little part of the show where Twilight has the Golden Oak Tree Library again. I'm just like, what is happening? What is happening? And I swear to God, 90% of the episodes, 90% of the time, for 90% of the runtime, they're in that gosh dang freaking sugar cube corner. Go somewhere, have adventures, do something. Stop eating cupcakes. God, I'm so tired of the damn cupcakes. I don't know, fiddle with a Rubik's Cube in the park or something. That would be heck of a lot more interesting than whatever the freaking Poet episode was with Applejack. God. Just basically was the opposite of everything I loved in G4. Pretty much the exact opposite. And then Generation 5 proceeded to come out. I watched G4 for the first time in July 13th, 2021. Yeah, I've not been a brony for long. Well, kind of for a long time. I don't know. But, like a couple months after that, the Generation 5 had its first movie in, hey, this is Generation 5. And, dude, seeing the movie, catching the movie, and being a part of, just having the ability to be a part of the discussion of Generation 5, that was so special to me. I was really hyped to watch the movie, and admittedly, the movie's pretty good, except for the ending. The ending kind of sucked, but the movie overall was really good. I just loved being able to be a part of that discussion of the movie, and just discuss my thoughts with it, with other bronies. It was great. Generation 5 came off to a very, very decent to good start. And while there were a lot of questions raised, I had faith in Hasbro that they would answer a lot of the questions given. And I was glad to see, well, I guess kind of glad to see. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what my stance... I still don't know what my stance is on the whole. We got Generation 4, elements of that show, elements of the previous generation still carrying on in Generation 5. I still don't know what stance I take in that. I just kind of don't care and just want a good show. I don't really care about kind of the story kind of dealing with the previous generation. And immediately, the way they kind of handle it is cool at times, you know? So yeah. Generation 5 movie. I really liked it, really enjoyed it, you know? It was a very big moment for me. well, kind of a big moment. It was a nice moment for me, you know. I'm like, okay, all right, what's next? And then they announced MLP Tell Your Tale. I'm like, oh God, oh jeez, oh, I'm scared now. MLP Tell Your Tale came out. I knew it was gonna be bad. I'm like, this ain't gonna be it. This is not going to be it. I watched the first episode and I was right. Before you say, oh, well, you gotta watch the other episode, it's only episode 1. I've seen all 50 episodes. I've seen every single one of them. And 75 to 80 to maybe even 85% of them are mediocre to bad to outright unbearable, in my personal opinion. There are actually some good episodes in it. Like, there have been, like, tiny little streaks of episodes that were actually, like, either good or, like, pretty enjoyable and entertaining. And the best case scenario for this, I would say, is with the 50th episode focusing just on Opaline. Like, that was a very entertaining and enjoyable episode. I think that's one of my favorite episodes in Tell Your Tale, because it feels like a cartoon. It feels like they just had fun with it, which I think is what Tell Your Tale needs to be. It just needs to be a short little 5-minute thing where they just have fun with the concepts that they make. Still make it good and, I guess, incorporate a little bit of plot into the shorts. But again, with the 5-minute runtime you have, you can't really do a whole entire arc and really develop it in a satisfying way. So focus more on the fun and enjoyable and entertaining factor of it, rather than, all right, we need to reach that quota for the bad jokes. We gotta reach the quota. That baby dragon, we need to see him at least 5 times this episode. He needs to be seen. We gotta market that dragon. And the dragon, honestly, is my least favorite part of the show. It's Generation 5 so far. I kinda hate the dragon. I hope he starts speaking. I really, dearly hope the dragon starts just speaking out of nowhere. Questionable writing decision? Yes. A decision that I will be happy with? Also yes. And also, I'm kind of going to discuss Opaline and Misty. Oh, my Wii controller got knocked out. That's what that noise was. So, first let's discuss Misty. Misty can be a very, very great character. With her personality, her charm, and kind of her relationship with the main 5. I like what they go for, but most of the time, Misty is kind of reduced to the character trope of, like, the character almost getting caught, and the character's just like, oh, would you look at the time? I'm late for my shower hoof nail Lego building thingamabob. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. See you later. And they just run off. A lot of the times I see Misty's character doing that, I'm just like, stop with this trope. Stop with this trope. Please stop using it as a crutch and actually start doing something different with Misty character, please. And I'm starting to see they're kind of straying away from that in kind of the later episodes of Tell Your Tale. I'm not going to discuss Make Your Mark at all, because that's a whole different kind of can of worms, but I'll leave the Generation 5 discussion with Opaline. Opaline is kind of complicated and kind of weird. Opaline as a character is kind of like 2 different split characters. On one hand, she is a one-note, one-dimensional, boring, flat villain that just screams at Misty, threatens to not give Misty her cutie mark, and beg for Dragonfire. Wow, what a compelling villain. She wants to take over Equestria. It's not like we've seen that trope millions of times before. It is not like we've seen it done way better before in hundreds of different movies, shows, and thingies. But what does Opaline bring to the table? Absolutely nothing. Until they decide to give Opaline a personality. Just randomly. It's very inconsistent. But sometimes they just give Opaline a personality. And the personality they do give Opaline, I love it. Opaline is just hilarious. Well, hilarious might be going a bit too far, but she's funny. She's actually funny and entertaining with the user personality. Like, the contrast between her just generic villain speech and her just kind of getting sucked into the antics, I love it. It's great. And when she's just, and this is where it comes back to the 50th episode, where it's just all about Opaline. Instead of doing just villain things, Opaline just kind of screws around for 5 minutes. And it's great! This is what Tell Your Tale should be. Stuff like this, where it's just funny, entertaining, kind of just funny antics. This is episode 50 is the perfect example of this, because Opaline just screws around at her house for 5 minutes doing funny stuff, like watching a movie, cooking popcorn, singing a song, trying to catch a freaking raccoon or something. It's just it's funny, and it's nice, and it's endearing, it's good. And I feel if Generation 5 wasn't split into Tell Your Tale and Make Your Mark, if the writers had more time and put more effort into their craft, Generation 5 could be really good. And I see glimpses of good writing in Generation 5 that shows up every so often. And I'm like, I feel like they have the skills, they have the resources, they have what they need, but they just refuse to go all in. Which makes me believe that 3 seasons from now, if there'll even be a 4th season of Generation 5 Make Your Mark, show's gonna be a banger. It's gonna actually be good. But for now, we have the comics to carry us. I know I said I was gonna end this discussion with Opaline, but I gotta discuss the comics. So the comics. I think the comics are the best part of Generation 5 so far. Hot take, I know. A lot of people don't seem to like the fact of Discord kind of being the villain in the first 10 issues. I didn't really have a problem with this. I was hyped to see Discord because, Discord, one of my favorite characters, I love Discord, and seeing him in Generation 5, that's pretty cool. And you can't just not address the problem with Discord. If you're going to bring Generation 4 elements into Generation 5, you need to deal with Discord, the immortal chaos god that pretty much cannot die. He's bound to have to be mentioned at least once, because it would be stupid otherwise. Because hello, chaos god, you're just gonna leave him doing whatever, nothing, what is he doing, what's he up to, So I think the decision to bring in Discord was a pretty decent decision, I was fine with that decision. How they handled Discord, I can't really speak like how I can't really speak critically on how they handled Discord, because mainly I would either shut my brain off or I just don't remember all the factors to really kind of give my kind of clear, concise thoughts of how good it is critically or bad it is critically. But from what I remember, I was fine with what they did with Discord. I mean, yeah, he's trying to delete magic, but I feel like they presented his motivations in a good enough way to make it believable enough. Also, I like how they included Fluttershy. I do like that. It does feel a little bit fan servicey, and it probably could be cut out of the comics, but it's a weird situation with that. It's a weird situation, but it definitely feels a lot more fan servicey rather than writing choicey. What else? There was an issue, like a comic issue. It was one of the comics throughout the first 10 issues that I really did not like. I don't remember what it was. It was like the dog one, and I thought it was like the worst one so far. Which reminds me, also quick conclusion, G5 Comics, pretty good. I actually recommend them because they actually bring like the charm and the writing skills of Generation 4 mixed with a little bit of the bad, but also a little bit of the charm of Generation 5. So it's like a 75% of decent. But also that reminds me, Pip's character. I do not like Pip in Make Your Mark and Tell Your Tale. Why? Because she is reduced to a generic social media influencer character that has no depth. It's just like, oh my god, selfie! That's a funny moment. Let me film that and put that on my social media. Somebody didn't like my picture. Oh no. Just put some depth into our character, please. Stop. Just stop. Tell Your Tale, I guess it isn't that bad, but it's still a problem. Pip. I do like the whole singing aspect she has to her character. That's really good. But they never really explore that. They don't ever explore that side of her much. And that sucks. Every time it's just, gotta be a social media influencer, and it gets so tiring. But in the G5 comics, they actually do good with the social media influencer character. They actually they actually thoroughly explore the motivations of Pip, why she's a social media influencer, why she loves it, the problems she has with it, and the struggles she has to go through. Like, there's arc, there's character development, there's actual good character writing in the social media influencer. Her character has layers and depth in the G5 comics. And again, that is one of the reasons why I think the G5 comics are the best part of the series. Not the series, Generation 5. Because the characters, I think, are just more well written, at least through dialogue, than in the Generation 5 shows. It really shows, because multiple times throughout the 10 issues, we see a problem Pip has with social media, we see it add to her character, and we see her work through it and get past those problems. We even saw it in the latest issue, the one with the freaking ghost, and then Zip, spoilers by the way, Zip actually tricks Pip Zip kind of dresses as the ghost and scares, the main five, to teach Pip a lesson, and it deals with an aspect of Pip and social media, her being an influencer. It is, I would say it's pretty decently well done. I did have some problems with it, but I don't remember what those problems were, so I'm not gonna talk about it. But yeah, this video's still loading. What happened? What just happened? Hello? Are you alive? What is it happened? I don't... Oh, the light. It seems the episode has gone black.
Before I begin the episode,
oh my god.
I just want to...
Oh my god, guys. The episode works. Guys, we finally get to watch the video and start the reaction video in 3, 2, 1.